last year, traveling to football games with her mom, pregame meals with her team, and cheering on the sidelines with Claire every Friday night. Michaela's future plans include becoming a licensed phlebotomist, as well as beginning studies at Aveda Arts Institute in July to work toward becoming a licensed cosmetologist. Ladies and gentlemen, senior cheerleader Michaela Bridges. Our next senior of the evening is Haley Graves. Haley is the daughter of Trinity and Courtney Graves. She has been a member of the varsity cheer team for 3 years. Haley's favorite memory of being on the team is winning fair competition last year with her best friends by her side. Haley plans to attend Southeastern Louisiana University, where she plans to major in nursing, in hopes of being a NICU nurse one day. If she could leave Miss Lori with any advice, it would be don't stress too much. Everything ends up working out in the end. She would like to thank Miss Lori for giving her the opportunity to be a part of the BG cheer family. They truly have been her saving grace. To her teammates, she wants to thank them for never giving up. She's so thankful God gave her 19 lifelong best friends. To her underclassmen teammates, she would like to say, soak in every single moment. They weren't kidding when they say time flies. And to her childhood best friend, Sarah Beth, she would like to thank her for being her biggest supporter in literally everything. I love you forever and always, SB. To the ones who have given me the world the last 18 years, Mom and Dad and Paw. From dance competitions to barrel races to Friday Night Lights, y'all have been my biggest supporters. And without y'all, none of this would have been possible. I hope I have made y'all proud. You're truly my reason and my motivation. I love you guys. And finally, Haley wants to give one last thank you to the Bowling Green family. 3 short years ago, y'all took me in as one of your own and have loved me like I have been here forever. Ladies and gentlemen, senior Haley Graves.
The block said on it, the journey is the reward. It's not always the result, it's the journey. You know, the friendships you made along the way, the lessons that you learned. That is really what the perspective needs to be on a night like tonight. You know, maybe you don't get that all-district honor, maybe you don't win that state championship, which we hope to do, but maybe you don't get to that one reward. You still had the journey, and you're blessed.
That's right, and the people that you meet along the journey, you know, I'm fortunate enough to where 2 guys that I played football with through high school, graduated with, I live with both of them.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you one thing, we handle our business whenever we're short on the bills, but if one of us was short on the bills, the other 2 would help out. This is real life friends. You know, I could meet somebody today and build a relationship with them over the next couple of months.
Right.
And there's a guy that I went to high school with and played ball with. I've talked to in 4 years probably.
Yeah.
And if I felt like I needed someone to help me, I would probably call the guy that I played high school football with.
Yeah.
Just like I put my high school football coaches, as which I have enough job experience now to where I don't have to put my high school football coaches in job references anymore. But up until about the past year and a half, that's what I did.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you know, and then also these young people, they're looking at their futures, the excitement that comes with that next step. It's you want to leave, but at the same time, you do want to stay in this little comfort zone. You know, I mean, it's very uncomfortable to take that next step, but it's also very exciting. It's like anything else.
That's
You
right.
know, last night I played donkey basketball, and you know, I was worried about breaking my shoulder, getting kicked by a donkey. When in reality, what I needed to do was just enjoy the ride, you know.
That's right.
And enjoy the mistakes that are made and the bumps in the road. So, you know, they are definitely people we appreciate within this school, and the lessons that they've learned and the things that they're looking forward to are going to be so much fun to see. Did you happen to listen to the Coach Phil Junkins show?
I did watch it. I'm an avid listener of the Coach Phil Junkins show. If you don't listen to the Coach Phil Junkins show, first off, shame on you.
Yeah.
And second off, It's a tremendous show. I would recommend it up there with The Sopranos and Game of Thrones.
You know, I will pause The Sopranos to watch
I paused
Inside Buck Vision with Coach Phil Jones show.
I paused the Joe Rogan Experience yesterday to watch Inside Buck Vision.
Yeah.
The Coach Phil Junkin.
And I must say that the host of the Coach Phil Junkin show is, absolutely impeccable. A man who is a legend in the media community, and he does a great job of talking with Coach Phil. But of course, Coach Phil is an easy interview.
Oh man, yeah.
And you want to talk about somebody that knows how to put together their words and formulate the right ideas, and his narrative whenever he's speaking is very positive, and you can tell what his is by just listening to the way he talks to the show.
I'll tell you what, and Coach Phil, I've never had him as a teacher. He wasn't my high school football coach, but when I was in the 3rd grade, Coach Phil was my Pee Wee football coach. He was my Pee Wee football coach. Record-wise, the best football season I ever got to play.
Yeah.
I mean, he's the best at what he does, and he's also a great man. And I'm glad I get to. He used to teach at the driving school too.
Yeah.
I scored better on my regular driving test than my CDL too. You know why? Because Phil Junkin's taught.
That's right.
I have the privilege of Phil Junkin. He is a great leader, and I think this year, in all aspects, it's a complete 360. The attitude with the players, the students, and the parents all changed.
Yeah.
This is a winning situation we're in here at Bowling Green, and I have to give a lot of credit to him. I really do.
Okay, so, when I was in high school, we had a really good 8th grade football team, and my 7th grade year was when our high school won the state championship. Okay, and so we were the 8th grade group, that was coming up that everybody was really excited about. We got a really good 8th grade group right now that everybody's really excited about. And the coaches would just talk about this group, and they were so excited about getting them up to the. And anyways, we got up to like at 9th grade year. It was 2 years after the state championship. It was kind of like where are we going now? We don't have these tools anymore. Where are we going? What is our identity now? Because we're not world beaters anymore. We're a little something different. We're back to being on solid ground.
Right.
We were in heaven for a while, but now we're on
It's
solid
0
ground.
to 0.
Right. And so 9th grade year was kind of like that. But my 10th grade year, that group of seniors decided we're going to be different than these past 2 years. We are the little brothers of those guys that won state championships, and we're going to honor them and follow their example by putting together a winning season this year. And we made it to the state quarterfinals that year. And
Quarterfinals and semifinals and semifinals.
Semifinals.
When you have that leadership year after year after year.
The point being, though, this senior class reminds me of that senior class my sophomore year. Had a losing season the year before. Kind of was down in the dumps a little bit, and then all of a sudden, boom, we're going to decide to win. And that's what we see here with Bowling Green. Did you happen to watch any of the game from last week?
I did watch it. I watch once again. If I'm not there, I'm tuned in. I make the right decision all the time.
You watch Buck Vision.
And every Friday I make the right decision by watching Buck Vision.
Yeah.
And as they call it, no one's ever came up with this remark after the fact. They say the #1 broadcasting show in the South, #1 sports broadcast show in the South. My argument is, who in the North is better?
Yeah. Yeah.
Best
There's
show
no
in the
way.
country.
No way. I really don't know if they've got the sense of humor that we do down here. Maybe so. That was kind of a prejudice statement. Anyways, last week was a loss, and it was a pretty tough loss. But look, it's almost like fighting out of your weight class. Okay. You think of Conor McGregor, right? I always make fight references on here. People might roll their eyes. I'm going to make fight references. Best sport ever. Football takes second. Okay? But
an alumnus of BG.
Conor McGregor's
and the big
155,
sister of Addie,
145
a
pounds,
soon-to-be
you know,
Buccaneer.
when he fights. And
Grace has attended BG
he's
for 4 years,
incredible,
and this is
right?
her third
Especially
year
in
as
his
a
prime, he's
Buccaneer.
one of the greatest to ever do it.
Her future plans are to
You put him in a
attend
ring with
college
Francis
and to
Ngannou,
pursue a
you
degree
better make sure
in
ambulances are
pediatric
close.
Oh yeah, it's a totally
Grace's
different story.
favorite
It's
memory
a
So-
totally different
was
story.
the 2020
The
football season when
Buccaneers
she got
are
to stand
good.
on the
Okay,
sidelines and cheer on her
it's
brother
just
Jonathan.
last week
Grace wants to
we
thank
ran
her best
into a
friend
team
Hallie for
that
going on
was
this Buccaneer
absolutely
journey with her and
loaded
sticking by her side.
with
She will miss
size
dancing with you
and
so
talent
much.
and
She wants to
just,
thank her mom and
I
dad
mean,
for being her best
fast
friends and
twitch.
always being on
You
her
couldn't
side
beat him
through
around the
anything.
edge. So,
Lastly, Grace's favorite teacher
you know,
and coach is
don't.
Coach
I'm not
Matt
trying to
Sessions.
discredit our guys, but they've got
She says
87
thank
on
you
their
for
side.
being
We've
a
got
listening ear.
30
She
on our
doesn't know
side.
what she
Oh,
would
yeah.
do without
You
you
know?
and Jenny.
Oh yeah,
She
it's
loves
definitely
y'all
a
with
lot
all of her
tougher.
heart.
And another thing
Senior
you
Buccaneer,
notice with these
Grace
smaller schools
Sutherland.
is well, first off, every football season you're going to have someone that was kind of a key player not be able to make it a couple games. That's 85% of the reason I got to play my senior year at all is because we had so many injuries. But when you're at a smaller school like this, one injury does make an impact.
Right.
It does make an impact.
Well,
And
look-
I also, I might sound a little biased because it's obvious one of the injuries I'm talking about is Maverick the Motor McKelvin, but there's other injuries too. There's been sickness that has pulled us back. 2 weeks ago, Christian Williams is out with the flu. Man, I watched the whole game. We're missing him.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're missing him. You sure? When we're missing the big gun, is the big gun back this week? I don't know. If we're missing the big gun this week, we're missing him.
Right.
Ladies and gentlemen,
You know, you're missing these players, and it could make a completely different ball game when you're in this situation. But also, the schedule is just a powerhouse schedule. I don't think there's anybody else in our classification that's probably playing harder.
Hey, resistance before the playoffs, right? Hey, I hate to interrupt what we're doing here, but let's talk a little bit about the senior football players that are coming out one at a time. Right now, Kyron Coward's coming out, but first let's talk about Devion Bickham. Devion Bickham, a guy that has not played football ever. And now he is, putting up numbers for a varsity football program. He has a lot of good football, ball instincts. Of course, he's very raw. And that's what you hear that all the time. It's kind of an eye roll statement. In baseball, you've got he's a plus guy. Like that's like the big baseball. I know what I'm talking about thing to say. But for him, he really does have those ball skills, and he's very raw, but he is a heck of an athlete.
Oh yeah, and Devion is kind of like at Franklin, so they have KJ Daniels, and the Saints have Alvin Kamara. It's like they're using sonogram.
Yeah.
It's like they're using sonogram. It's like they can feel it before it gets there, and they can just get out the way with the slightest cut. And it's
They might
awesome,
have some of them
but
on. They might have some of them on native instincts, but they're ear to the ground. And they can tell what's coming.
yeah.
Now, okay, Kyron Coward just came out. Kyron Coward is the perfect. I'm not even going to give him numbers. If this were boxing, him and Josiah would be the 1-2 punch. I'd say Josiah's going to be your jab, and then Coward's going to be your hook.
Yeah.
Because Coward, he does a really good job of running off tackle, but at the same time, when you say run off tackle, he's still cutting up the field, getting yards, and being a really good vertical
That's
runner.
another thing. I tell my friends this all the time. Josiah scores all these touchdowns to get so many rushing yards, and this isn't. He's cutting up the sidelines and running. He's running through people's face. Brady Smith on scene. He's running through people's face all the way through to the end zone. It's hard-earned yards, and he gets them every time.
Since we just had Macaulay Keaton come out. Macaulay, a good tackle. I think Coach Junkins said last year he might have played guard.
Yeah, he did play guard last
And that's
year.
not really his position, man. He's a tall kid. He's built more like a tackle than he is.
Oh yeah, definitely. Well, it's crazy to see the two names that turned up being on hard-nosed guards this year because I had no idea that they were on the radar to even play.
Yeah.
But they're the best I've seen at Bowling Green since whoever.
Right.
Since whoever. Mathern, we'll skip to Mathern. Mathern's came in this year from Oak Forest. And I'll tell you, when I came out to the first practice, there was two people I was skeptical of at the first practice I walked up to. And it might have been Mathern and Hampton Crew. And both of them have proved me wrong tremendously. And it was one thing. Mathern had the wrong hand on the ground.
Yeah.
And I joked with Hampton with it after practice. I was like, Hampton, you got to get these kids in shape. He's got the wrong hand on the ground. But it was just funny. It was funny, but I mean, hard-nosed football player.
I'm sorry, I'm listening to my little brother's little bio for the
mission and thank them for bringing respect back to the BGS football program. Maverick plans to attend Southeastern Louisiana University and pursue a degree that allows him to make the most out of his charm and natural likability. Ladies and gentlemen, for the last time under the Buck Helen Stadium lights, Maverick the Motor McKelvin.
Yeah! And there's Maverick the Motor McKelvin. Obviously, we'll have a lot to say about him, but we got to keep it going just like we did with everyone else.
Yeah, for sure.
Once again, what a shame.
Right.
Me and you have observed the superior athlete of the three of us. I take best looking, and you're just short.
Yeah.
But I'm just playing everybody, and yeah, we love Maverick, and he's been a champ through the whole thing, and it was tough. It's tough. It's like if you got real good at driving NASCAR or anything else, and someone was like, "Oh, you can't do that no more," probably never again.
Yeah.
And that's what happened. I mean, Maverick was having a fantastic season.
Well, you know something that
it's heartbreaking, it's heart-wrenching, but he's living with it. He's living with it as good as anybody
Yeah, for sure. And then what can you say about Josiah Miller? I got to coach Josiah as a younger kid in high school, and what a totally transformed young man. I mean,
I got to coach him as a younger man.
Yeah.
Josiah, along with a couple other kids that's on the team, he is one of my old baseball kids. I coached him when he was 11 years old, and I'm talking about every time I used to see Josiah, hey coach, how you doing? You know, he was just a shy little kid. Man, he's came to Bowling Green, and it's made all the difference on the field, off the field. He's smiling every time I see him. He's killing it on the field. Nothing against Franklinton. Obviously, you coach there. I graduated from there. I don't know what kind of kid he would have ended up being if he'd have stayed at Franklinton, you know, and his happiness, and that affects completely how it ended up on the field. You know what I mean? He could have got upset and ended up not even playing football no more. But I'm glad this school made the difference for him. That's really what I wanted to highlight out of that. And,
the next guy up is Eli Schilling. Eli is a center and a very undersized center. Let's not let that be the main thing that describes him. He's fearless. He's a dedicated leader. He's the type guy you want on your side. Okay, we're going to put that out there first. But lastly, he's a little undersized for a center. And I'm actually saying that as a compliment that he's been able to be a first-team all-district offensive lineman. At his size.
Undoubtedly, he'll get it this year, too. Man, I played center. I played center in 4A LHSA football, and I know that people probably get tired of hearing that, but I did. And, man, playing center, that's not a position where you want to be undersized. A lot of people think, oh, shorter guy can play center. It don't matter how tall or short you are. When it comes down to final seconds on the goal line, you know who's in front of you? The biggest guy on the other team.
Right.
And he handles that with stride every week. I enjoy Eli. I've enjoyed him his whole life. Just like Maverick, he's probably the only other kid I've known out here since he was an ultrasound.
Right. And then you've got Morgan Barrett. I was trying to figure out whether I'm going to call him Wyatt or Morgan, because it's hard to, those names are so similar, obviously. For the Tombstone reason, he's Morgan Tombstone Barrett. But good ball skills, right? That's what I would say about him. Right? Great ball skills, rangy kid. He's fearless as well. Not the biggest kid in the world, but he will put his head into you.
Oh, yeah.
And he will get after your tail.
He's really, to me, he's the shortstop of this team. You got to put him in that one position because he's going to be the best at it. But he would also probably be one of the best at every position on the field.
Right.
And that's crazy to say about a kid that weighs probably 145, soaking wet.
Right.
But, I mean, I worked with Morgan last year at Sonic Drive-In in Hammond on University. And, you know, I got to be pretty close with him. I'm still close. I tell him good game every game that I'm here.
Yeah.
You know, give him a hug. I love Morgan. I'm good friends with his brother Wyatt. And, I mean, not much else I can say about this senior class besides fantastic.
Yeah.
Every single young man I've ever walked up to them, they shook my hand first.
Right.
You know, they wanted to know me, and I wanted to know them, obviously. I heard of them. But they wanted to know me. They wanted to shake Maverick's older brother's hand. They wanted to, you know.
Yeah, for
So,
sure.
none of them have shied away from being a good young man. And I hope that they all grow up to be fantastic adult men, which I know they will.
Yep. Definitely not an easy thing to do in this world right now.